PharmaPhobic is powered by Achieve the Lifestyle, a company dedicated to helping you empower your health, redefine your lifestyle, and all for the health of it. You're listening to PharmaPhobic, where we challenge the state of health in America. I'm Janie, a physician assistant, and I've seen how healthcare keeps people dependent instead of truly healthy.
And I'm Dan, a veteran turned fitness pro here to uncover the truth and explore simple and sustainable health solutions. From big pharma to big food, we're exposing the conflicts of interest keeping us sick and finding better ways to take back our health.
No fluff, no gimmicks, just real talk, real solutions, and a little bit of fun along the way.
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of PharmaPhobic, brought to you by Achieve the Lifestyle, where we help you become the strongest, healthiest, and most capable version of yourself. As always, I'm here with my lovely co-host, my lovely wife, companion in life, person that I love the most, and that I'm so grateful for. Special guest of the podcast, Miss Janie Brown. How are you doing? My glasses won't stay up.
Just instant karma. Boom. I'm great. My voice is a little questionable, but I'm okay. I'm here. I feel good.
Yeah, you've been sounding a little weird the past couple of days.
I woke up yesterday morning and it was much worse than this, very deep. And Dan was like, when's your next show? I'm like, my show? Like what? And he's like, your next show. I'm like, huh? He's like, you're bodybuilding on Anavar. And I'm like, no.
All of a sudden, Janie sounded like a bodybuilding influencer type person,
It's like,
type woman.
if you want these gains, just follow my recipe for this protein shake. It's all natural. I'm all natural.
I'm a natty bro, trust me. Yeah, that type of voice. I'm like, okay. Anyway, guys, we have a lovely show for you today. We're gonna go over some stuff. You know what stuff is, right?
Yeah, it's stuff.
Just some health stuff. We are fresh back we were last weekend. We were at Summer Strong. My 5th time going to Summer Strong, Janie's fourth time going to Summer Strong. We've been planning our year. Well, Janie plans our year out.
Thank you.
Because she can't help herself. I just fly by the seat of my pants. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing later today. But Janie knows what we're doing 4 months from now. You know, that's how she gets down.
Yes.
And she loves to plan. She plans time to plan stuff. That's how much.
Not true.
That's how much you plan.
You, one, benefit from it.
I do.
And two, you appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I didn't do this stuff, like, pretty sure you won't, I'll end up registering you for Masters Worlds. You won't do it on your own.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
So it's for you. You're the one who's like, I want to go to Worlds, but you will not do the Airbnb. You will not book the flight. You will not sign up.
Here's the thing. If I book flights and Airbnbs, we're going to end up spending way more money than we should because I don't have the patience to look through it.
It'll be like $1,000 for one way. Dan's like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't want to keep looking at this
I'm
screen.
done with this.
Yep. 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. That's how it is. That's how it is. You remember like back in the day, you used to, I guess you could still do it like Travelocity,
Yeah, you can.
Kayak, all those Expedia. I would go on there to look for my flights. And I would literally look through the first, you get pages and pages of results, right? And I would literally just look at the first pages and I was already the first page and I was like, I'm done with this. Just get that one. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds fine.
It's just unfortunate because flight costs are going up and airlines are just becoming more, they're just charging for more stuff.
Yeah, their customer service is going down. Prices are going up. So you're getting this thing, and this is, this is a little off topic, but you're going to get me into the stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because you're getting less for more. The quality of stuff is going down.
And we're okay
The quality of service is going down. The quality of the products is going down, but they're charging us more for it. So you're getting less for more. insane.
And we don't have any option but to.
And we don't have any option but to Bohica.
Yeah.
If you were in the military, you know what Bohica is.
What's Bohica?
Bend over, here it comes
Okay.
again.
Got it. Okay. Anyway, back to Summer Strong.
So,
What is Summer Strong? Who puts it on?
Sornix exercise equipment company, awesome people, and they make beautiful exercise equipment. Usually outfits Division I weight rooms, MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA. Pro weight room, strength and conditioning facilities.
Some high schools.
Some high schools will spend money on Sornix because the stuff's not cheap, but it's handmade right here in the U.S. of A.
And it's great quality.
With old American steel.
I think it's the standard.
I call it the restoration hardware of strength and conditioning equipment.
But they personalize it as well.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. If you ever pull up a Sornix rack from, I don't know, like the Lakers or something like that, they look, they're purple and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
They got the team emblem on them. They're beautiful, beautiful racks. There is a scientific study yet to be commissioned, but I believe that if you squat on a Sornix rack, you squat about 10% more weight.
Yeah.
And then...
And just the... Now, I'm not going to say I know all the ins and outs of the company. I don't, but we've met the owner's son, who I think is now the CEO, right?
Yeah, he's the CEO.
And his wife. And whenever we go to Summer Strong, we interact with the employees because they volunteer their time, and they're probably paid, but they stop doing their traditional jobs and they help like prepare our food and set things up and things like that. And they're all some of the happiest people I've seen. Like nobody's like bitter, nobody's frustrated, nobody's just, like people who hate their jobs, how they kind of just have like a negative tone to them. There's none of that around.
Yeah, it's an American company, American employees, really in South Carolina, like almost like rural South Carolina where it's at Lexington. It's kind of a big-ish town outside of Columbia. Every time we go, the vibe is magnificent.
Yeah.
Super chill. You see people not on their phone. Everybody's like interacting. You start having conversations with people that you've never met in your life, but it's like a deep you get into some serious topics, right? And you connect with people. It's really cool. And I really enjoy when I go somewhere and I get to put my phone away and then I forget that I have a phone for the majority of the day.
And we were talking about how I can't. We didn't get much sleep last night. So I'm like conflicted because I want to be present. I don't want to be on my phone. I want to be able to interact with people, have great conversations. But then when we got home, we're like, oh, we should have taken more pictures.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, it's like, oh, we didn't take pictures with so-and-so. We didn't take pictures with so-and-so. Listen, guys, if we didn't take pictures with you because we took a couple of pictures, it's not because we didn't love you. It's because we were talking. And I was going to whip out the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like that. I'd rather, kind of live with the memory of it more so than look at me where I was.
Yeah. So I think the thing you have is, and this is how I explain it to people, it is kind of like a family reunion because it's not unlike if you come from a big family and you see your cousins once a year at Thanksgiving or a different holiday or a designated reunion, but you don't see them throughout the rest of the year because of distance or other reasons, but you stay connected to them either through text messaging or social media. This is this group of people.
Yeah. It's a lot of strength and conditioning coaches and a lot of fit pros go to this. It is a quote unquote fitness event or strength and conditioning event.
We got continuing education for our strength coach certifications through it. So it does satisfy that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that we get to go there, have the magnificent time that we do. And I'm like, I'm going to get CEUs for this too, for my freaking certification. And the food that they serve, dear Lord. They serve some good food at Summer Strong.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that pulled pork always phenomenal.
And the gator.
We ate alligator this year. That was crazy. The first time I went, they had elk cooked over an open flame. Amazing. They were beating it with rosemary bushes. It was phenomenal.
Maybe sprigs.
Yeah, with they were going on it over the fire.
But it's one of those things where we cannot see these people for a year, but we get there and it's like, you know? And like Dan mentioned, they're all walks of life. Like yes, it leans heavily in the strength coach, but there's like physical therapists,
chiropractors, that are nurse this year.
Yep, nurse, academic people, you know. So yes, they're in strength and conditioning, but not from like coaching or personal training, but more academics, which is interesting. Nutritionists, registered dietitians, and then
a lot of team people,
team people, but then
LSU, Alabama.
They always have a military, so they're a big supporter of veterans.
They also contract with the Army.
Yeah, they contract with the Army, but then
facilities for the Army.
The disabled or wounded warrior, is it Wounded
Warrior Project?
Yeah. Wounded Warrior Project is always involved in VHP.
Yes, Virginia High Performance, they're a big Wounded Warrior Project.
Right, but they work, because I looked on their website, because they always have a big presence there, and one of the speakers works with them, and they do specifically, I think, like a 6 to 8 week course for veterans. Like you come there for 6 to 8 weeks, and they do like a whole rehabilitation thing involving physical rehabilitation, fitness, nutrition, chiropractic care, some cognitive behavioral things or other behavioral things, and then some like sauna, cold plunge, some sort of other sensory thing too. It's really cool.
It's like a restoration thing for veterans. You know, they train them. It's, you know, obviously there's a strength and conditioning component to it, but there's a rehab, a physical therapy component as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So speakers.
So they always have a military affiliated speaker. At least all the years I've been, they have.
No, they always do. They always have a military affiliated speaker. I think 5 years in, they always have one.
Yeah.
So I've listened to 2 Medal of Honor recipients speak.
I've listened to one.
You were there for one. Tier 1 type people, like special operators, and then it's like they do the blackout, so turn all the cameras off, and these people share some open stories that kind of they don't record. It's just like
that. We didn't have that this year. Excuse me. The veteran he's not a veteran. He's
a veteran now. He retired.
No, he says going through retirement.
Yeah, he's retired.
Oh, well, the way he sounded was like an active process, but he didn't disclose anything like that, and everything he disclosed, I think, was in his book, or he's a public speaker, so it was nothing
cleared stuff.
Yeah,
there wasn't any top secret type stuff.
Yeah.
So we got to listen to Nick Lavery, who
that's who I was referring to.
If you look him up on Instagram, I think they call him the Machine, because he is the first above the knee amputee to return to full operational status on a special forces team.
And be deployed.
Yep, and be deployed.
Yeah.
Insane. I mean, the dude's pretty. He's a pretty imposing dude. He's huge, but to be an above the knee amputee, and he went through dive school, which dive school is crazy. That's one of the hardest schools in the military across the board, like in every service. I mean, insane. He went through dive school as an amputee.
He went through. So when I think of an amputee, especially because it wasn't like he was an amputee for years and then did it, is the time on the amputated leg, amputated limb, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's so when they make the amputation, that area, I want to call it the stump. I don't know if there's a better name for it, but they it always tends to scar very nicely over time. Like it's very smooth, but over time. And I think maybe he had like 18 months, right? And one of the hardest things, especially when you get a prosthesis, from my experience with patients I've had, granted it's not expansive experience, is that you almost have to build up a callus to that prosthesis as it rubs, right? So just think of like your hands. Like you've never lifted any weights at all. You've never done a pull-up or anything. Your hands hurt after you like grab a barbell, dumbbells, do pull-ups. Like that hurts, right? Now imagine the full weight of your body on that, and it's rubbing. And so he did.
And he's not a small dude.
And he did a ruck march. Like you're gonna get blisters,
Ruck march hurts when you have a normal body.
Exactly. Is the very concise way of saying what I was going to say really long-windedly. But to me, like, I understand that. And he's saying, like, I did a ruck march. Yeah, sure. I'm just like, oh
and it's not just doing a ruck march. It's a timed gait, right?
Because
he said he had to, well, if it's a ruck
the
march,
ruck
it's weighted.
weighted,
He had to meet a standard so that they could put him back on a team. So it's not just, oh, I'm able to walk these miles. It's like, no, I walk these miles in a time frame. It's usually a 12-miler in under 3 hours. By SF standards in the Army, it has to be above 50-pound ruck if he's doing it for their selection standards and stuff. 50, and then you got to put water on that, so it ends up being about a 60-pound ruck. That is no punk. That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
To do it with an above-the-knee amputation, insane. Right, he's a bigger dude, right? So a 50-pound ruck might feel like smaller to him than it would to a 130-pound dude, but still, he's an above-the-knee amputee.
Yeah. So anyway, his approach to everything was very powerful.
Yeah.
Right? Like his mentality. And same thing with our friend Katie, who I think we're going to talk about in a second. Just the way they approach every day, the way they approach life, right? Because should we just go ahead and talk about Katie too?
Yeah. So and then we had Katie Guillory, who is also, but she's below the knee amputee.
Yes. So her accident occurred 10 months ago. She was unfortunately in a jet ski accident. Rope got wrapped around her leg. She ended up losing the lower half of her leg, and she deadlifted 235 pounds this weekend.
So she's not even a year into her process. Yeah. And Katie's a strength coach at LSU, so she lives off her body, right? If you've ever seen a collegiate strength coach at that, which is what she is, and a Division I school, they have this thing called the juice. Yeah. If you are in the strength and conditioning world, you know what the term means, the juice, and it refers to a certain level of energy and enthusiasm that you bring when you're coaching people in a session, right? They're all over the place. These collegiate strength coaches are on another level.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I could get a little bit of juice, but it'll never compare. Like my boss at Union he had juice. Yeah. When he was running the room, and his voice is booming over the loud music, and he's just, and people are like, come on, it's crazy. So yeah, when, coaching Division I athletics or Division I strength and conditioning, there's, a lot of moving parts. It requires a lot, it's a physical job, right? And you're a coach, and it's a high energy, high up tempo. You got a lot of teams coming through the weight room and all that stuff. So now she's an amputee. Obviously it's different now.
And so obviously her life's not going to look the same as it was before, but she's not accepting anything less than what she wants to do or what she used to be able to do, just in a different way. Mm-hmm. Right.
Adjusting like crazy. Yeah.
And so, and maybe now she's even doing more. Right. And so, one thing is with her and Nick and any amputee or anything, anytime you go through a significant setback and there's a disability in some way, the general population, the medical society, medical system and everything is so quick and would so very much say it's okay. Like if you, so give Katie, for example, if she was okay with, not really pushing, learning how to walk again, and just kind of taking it slow or doing a wheelchair, not really pushing herself, more than often people would be like, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Like you've been through a lot, that's okay. Now, being an amputee is not easy, but being an amputee that then challenges what people are pushing you to be content with is even harder.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just
she ain't
Nick,
no
Katie, there was another guy who was an amputee there. I don't know who he was.
Oh, he's probably a veteran too.
Yeah. Anytime I see them and they're doing above what the general population does when we would all understand and like allow them to do less than the general population is just like what the energy they have to put into every day to do that. I don't think most people can wrap their head around. Like I can't either, but it's just like, I can appreciate how much effort that takes every day because you just, who was saying, there was another strength coach, Italian guy, how he was saying how he was going to move away from his home.
Oh, because he was
and
happy.
His family was supporting his misery.
Him staying.
His contentment, his misery.
Complacency.
Yeah, his complacency. And I feel like the medical system so often will support somebody's complacency. And then you put it in an extreme like an amputee, and that person has to actively work against like, no, I expect more of myself. I want to do more for myself. I deserve more for myself. I think that's like, I don't think enough credit's given for that because that's an everyday thing and that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of perspective there, right? I think you could see it in both their dispositions where they're like, okay, I have to change things, but I don't have to stop things.
Yeah.
And I made me think about, health journey, right? People have setbacks in health. Some people don't have it and they're trying to get it and it's hard. And some people just fold like that at the first little bump in the road, right? And here are these people that are like, oh no, I lost a leg, fam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going harder than ever now. Now I'm really going.
Yeah.
I gotta respect that.
Yeah,
and
one thing Katie said, and I think it's been said different ways, but she said it, and I really like the way she said it. This didn't happen to me, this happened for me. And I think if most people would approach either their traumas or life that way, and that can be a hard thing to, like, especially if you're not healed or you haven't sort of accepted and moved on, that can be really hard to swallow. But, and I think we're going to talk about this later too, but some people get stuck in their trauma. Like, oh, this happened to me. Oh, woe is me. So it happened. You can't change that. It happened for you. Let's use this. What are you going to do moving forward?
Yeah, like, I guess it's looking for solutions, right? Versus just focusing on the problem where you like, okay, I know I have this problem, but let me start looking for solutions. And I think that's where healing comes from. That's where, overcoming circumstances comes from. And I know a lot of this stuff is like cliche to some people, but guess what? Y'all still not doing it.
Yeah, true.
You're still not doing it, To wrap it, I remember years ago when I was coaching CrossFit, I had this guy, he was a friend of mine. We almost went into business together, almost. He showed up to the gym, and the CrossFit gym was a dungeon. You guys remember what CrossFit gyms, I mean, they still look like that, garage doors, that sort of thing. It was hot as hell.
Love it.
Texas, it was hot. And he shows up to the gym in his little chinos from work with a little polo from his business and that sort of thing. And he always wore a hat. And he shows up and he's like, oh, I forgot my workout clothes. He didn't live too far from the gym. And I was like, bro, this last class of the day, like, I don't know what you want to do. He's like, gotta go. So he worked out in his freaking chinos. And
yes, let's get it.
In that Texas heat, he got it. Like the chinos were all freaking sweaty. I mean, I was like, damn. I took a picture of him and posted it on the gym page. Yeah. And he was like, what he said is like, don't look for a way, not a way out.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that's it. That's what it comes down to. I feel like that Katie and Nick Lavery pretty much embody that at a very high level. We're hoping to have Katie on the podcast here soon. Her energy and her perspective are going to be really good for people to listen to.
We might be able to do it in person, but if not, then virtually.
Yep, yeah, whatever. But she'll come through. She's got that juice.
Yeah.
She got the juice. She'll come through. So, another thing that I wanted to point out here for Summer Strong, things that we learned, obviously the perspective and all that stuff, but, lifting with friends. guys.
Oh, it's
I
the
think
best.
I posted a couple videos over there, but I don't think it makes people, unless you're there, you don't understand what it's like to have a room full of hundreds of people, strong people. You've never seen somebody squat 500, 600, somebody deadlift 700. It's crazy, right? But
Or even not deadlifting that much, but maybe it's a PR for them, and you just see like
yeah, but
them
and
give
that's
it,
what I'm
put
saying.
it all out there, and that's amazing.
You got a guy that can deadlift 700 cheering on somebody who's deadlifting 250 for the first time in their life. And that's
great.
pretty cool, right? Because, I mean, to him, he doesn't even touch the bar before it has at least 400 pounds on it. Because it's like, what am I even doing?
And then you have Brandon Lilly who just pulls 550 cold.
Cold pulls 550.
Just in front of all the guys that are struggling.
But and the thing is, if you know that name, he's one of the old West Side barbell lifters. He was a world record holding power lifter. He looks nothing like what he's probably 100-something pounds lighter than he was back then, and not on any of the juice that he was back then. But you know, to him, he's looking at people lift even 700 might be cute to him from where he was back in the day, right? But you know, people are getting cheered on, they're getting encouraged. It's really cool. Our friend Ben, he PR'd like crazy on the squat.
Oh, he did?
Oh my God. He PR'd. He was worried that he couldn't hit 315. Oh, he was worried that he couldn't hit 315. And then he hit it, and he did reps with it. But it's like the energy, right? Like people are like, come on, bro. There's literally like 40 dudes around one squat rack yelling at him. And then they put 365 on it, and he hit that too.
That's wonderful.
Oh man. And he fought that.
Yeah.
Like that was like a 6 or 7 second squat.
It was a tempo up.
Yeah, if you guys, if you're maxing out, like a 6 or 7 second level of strain is crazy, right? Like you're putting out, you're dying on there under that bar. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's
He was
wonderful.
like, I never thought I could squat that. It's like, oh, when you're in Summer Strong, you gonna squat it.
Yeah.
You gonna squat it.
And now let's take a quick break. Have you heard about collagen and how amazing it is for your skin, hair, nails, digestion, and joints, but have no clue which one to choose? I've been there. A few years ago, I stumbled upon Bubs Naturals, and let me tell you, I've been hooked ever since. Here's why I swear by them. Bubs Naturals keeps their quality standards sky high from the start to finish. Their collagen blends perfectly in coffee, or really any other beverage you love. Plus, they've got convenient to-go packs so you can stay on track wherever life takes you. And it doesn't stop there. They'll donate 10% of all of their proceeds to charities that support veterans. How awesome is that? Oh, and they've leveled up their electrolytes too. The mixed berry, that's my absolute favorite. It's light, refreshing, and not overly sweet. What sealed the deal for me? Their electrolytes are NSF certified, made right here in the USA, and just like their collagen, every purchase helps give back. So do your body a favor, head to bubnaturals.com and use my code JANE20 at checkout for 20% off every time you order. Tired of looking like you lost a fight with a powdered donut every time you work out? Yeah, I was too. That's why I ditched the messy chalk and switched to Chalkless. Chalkless is a new, clean, residue-free grip enhancer that goes on in seconds and lasts for hours. No clouds, no cleanup, just a rock-solid grip. Whether you're crushing it in the gym, dominating on the pickleball court, or hanging on a rock face like Spider-Man, Chalkless has your back. I even hit my 350-pound deadlift PR at Summer Strong using Chalkless. Locked in, zero slip, total confidence. Ready to level up your grip game? Head over to chalkless.com and use code JaneBrown to snag 10% off your order.
But anyway, Tyler Minton, nutrition.
Yeah, so Tyler Minton, he works for Virginia High Performance.
Now he does, but he still does independent stuff.
But yeah, and he also does independent stuff. So he gave a talk about nutrition, and I really liked the way he shaped it. And he gave some great tips as well. One thing that I really like as well. But he classified your nutrition goals can all be put into 3 buckets. Mm-hmm. Performance, health, or aesthetics. And if you go all in on one, you kind of can't have the others.
Yeah, you sacrifice the others. Depending on what you're doing, you're going to sacrifice the others.
Yeah, and you can't say, well, I want health and aesthetics. Because in order to have aesthetics, you have to sacrifice health. And in order to have health, you can't have perfect aesthetics. But if you focus on performance or health, you're likely going to look good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think we need to like bucket it. If we go aesthetics, think about somebody cutting for a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
If we go,
So aesthetics would be you only care about how you look.
yeah,
You only care about what the weight is,
literally,
the pant size.
literally,
And
a
I
cut.
think that's what a lot of people in the general population, when they go to start their health journey, they just think aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then performance, it's like, you know, a strongman competitor, a football lineman in the NFL. Like these guys have to eat stupid amounts of food
Well,
to be able to put out or
what would
bulk
performance
up.
look like for general population?
What would performance look like for general population? Well, I mean, it's not going to be the same because I don't think people are going to eat at that level. Like we're talking about people that are going to pound 8,000 calories a day.
So let's just say this. Say you want to do a 5K performance. Yeah.
Not at the level that Tyler was talking about.
But I'm just saying I understand, but that's what they are going to, like, my goal is to run a 5K or is like couch to 5K.
Yeah.
My goal is a high rocks comp.
Yeah.
My goal is something
we're
like
going to
that.
sprinkle, but for the average person, their level of effort and put
Right,
out
but-
on it is still going to be on the health side, I would say. You could fuel it with a health
True.
approach.
But their goal is performance. And so if somebody's like, I don't want to run a 5K, I don't care, then it's like, but should I get my blood work done? It's like, well, no, because you just want to run your 5K, right? And so, and then health would be like, I want to eat and exercise to improve my blood sugar, my blood pressure, my cholesterol for like Dan and I stood up when he's like, who's, in it for health? We did. Because in my mind, for my goal for eating and exercise is longevity, which is health, right? And so do I want to perform well? Yeah, but not at the sacrifice of my health. Do I want to look good? Sure, but not at the sacrifice of my health.
Yeah, when we talk performance, like you might be talking like added calories, right? Like your caloric intake might be way higher because all that matters is that you can do things fast. You can do them for a long time.
Well, performance would be some people naturally will, but just to give like a very crude example, you're not worried about having a six pack. You're worried about how fast or how well you're going to perform.
Yeah. Michael Phelps eating the famous 10,000 calorie a day diet when he was at the peak of his competitive career. That's a performance-based diet.
Yeah.
I doubt Michael Phelps even eats half of that.
I think of that rugby girl who's really popular. Oh gosh.
The New Zealander?
No. What's her name? Starts with an I.
I have no idea.
Iolana.
The one that was on Sports Illustrated cover.
Yeah,
Okay.
her.
Yeah. I don't know her name.
She looks great. She looks powerful. She looks like an athlete. She performs at a very high level. She doesn't have a six pack. She doesn't have, 13% body fat like a bodybuilder female, or maybe even less, but she's powerful. She's strong.
Yeah.
Her nutrition and exercise are geared towards performance.
Yep. Yeah. So a lot of that, it looks very different, right? When bodybuilders cut for a show, when it's pure aesthetics, you're dropping fat levels super low. Like all that matters is how you look. And when they get there, like some of these bodybuilders, when they get on stage, they might pass out afterwards when they're that lean.
And for women, it's not uncommon to have, men and women can have hormonal issues after doing bodybuilding. I really can't think today. Bodybuilding shows. But one of the biggest things that gets disrupted is gut health and thyroid.
Yeah. And then they're eating like this same thing, like the chicken and rice and the bread, like super, it's just a different thing.
Yeah. The manipulation of the food, like the swinging of like the salt versus water and the carbs versus proteins and things like that is just, woo.
So obviously what we talk about here, we want to talk about eating for health. Because we know that if you chase the health, the aesthetics are going to follow. Are you going to look, and even the performance, right? You're going to perform better. But are you going to look like somebody who's ready to be on the cover of freaking Muscle and Fitness? No, you're not. You might have a little bit of a little something here. It's all good.
Little power pouch.
Little power pouch. It's all good, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's a healthy power pouch. Your still body fat percentages are in check. You're not going to be Pillsbury Doughboy either.
Yeah.
So health first, right? And a lot of stuff. And he even spoke about, and Tyler works with Like his claim to fame is, you know, high level UFC fighters managing their weight cuts, you know, John Jones being one of them, like these really high, Khabib.
Yeah.
Like if you've watched MMA, you know who these people are. Otherwise, they're like Hall of Fame career type UFC fighters. And this is the guy that was managing their nutrition. And he talks about cycling them through the year, even with the NFL guys that he works, where he's like, at some point, they have to come back to health. And he talks about eating for health, you know, bring up the fats, make sure you're getting plenty of protein, vary the spectrum of what you're eating so that you can kind of let the body reset a little bit. And then it makes doing the aesthetics or the performance stuff down the road when you have to go back to it, it makes it easier because your body's at a good baseline, right? For us in the Gen Pop, that should make a lot of sense because, you know, eventually people want to go on a cut or whatever, but it just says that the majority of the time you should be eating for your health.
Yeah. Well, and I think of it where I've heard numerous people say like, I'm always 2 weeks out, or you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. Somebody else mentioned that as well. I can't remember, but it, from my mind, and let me know if you agree, if you prioritize health and spend most of your time eating and exercising and sleeping and hydrating and managing your stress for health, if at any moment you need to do some more aesthetics or you need to do performance, it's easy for you to toggle to either of those.
Correct.
Then if you live for aesthetics, then all of a sudden you need to perform.
Correct.
Right?
That is, I think that is absolutely correct. If you are loyal to that health first approach in your eating, you are closer to the other sides of the, you know, the trifecta, right? Than if you were on one side only.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to pick one, I would say perform it. But you see, most people like the Gen Pop, they can't sustain a performance approach because that's very high, like your caloric intake is high or that sort of thing.
Not to mention things like sleep aren't as prioritized. Blood and hormone levels aren't as prioritized. Like, sure, you want them optimal because they're going to aid in performance, but they're not a priority. It's for performance. So this is where it becomes like elite level athletes. This is where it makes sense. Yeah. So if you're getting paid, you receive a paycheck based on your performance, it makes sense to gear your nutrition and exercise for performance. Maybe even if you're a big
example here that he gave, he was using one of his NFL lineman types, right?
Yeah.
Linemen usually, like the teams, depending on what team they are, they care about their weight in the sense that they have to be heavy.
Yeah.
They're like, if you have a lineman that's closer to 300 or even under 300 pounds, the team doesn't like that. These guys are drafting dudes that are damn near 400 pounds to play the line, right? So they want them heavy. And some of these guys, I think it's unhealthy, you know, and John Wellborn will talk to this because he was a lineman, but he was 8% body fat and over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a monster.
Yeah.
Versus I'm 350, but I'm 30% body fat.
Yep.
You know, and I disagree. Like there's some kid that was playing for Florida and I think they drafted him. He was 420 pounds. Monster. Like there's a highlight of him taking this freaking defensive player. Like he put his hands under the pads and he literally lifted him up and body slammed him. It's the craziest. I mean, it looked like a WWE highlight. It was like, holy crap, this dude is a monster. I mean, that kid probably weighs 250 and he just body slammed him on the field. But does he need to be 400 pounds? He's probably, his blood sugars are out of whack. His hormones are out of whack. He's playing football like a beast, but it's, you know, his joints are begging for mercy at 400 something pounds and he's trying to like run and cut a little bit, even though the linemen play a little bit more standstill game. But anyway, the priority is performance, right? So your performance, you have to be a certain weight. You have to be able to hit another dude really hard and play that thing real quick, be strong as hell. Your weight numbers have to be crazy high so that the team says, yep, give him the contract for next year. You know what I mean? And he was talking about one of his guys and the dude's blood sugar was out of control. He was like almost pre-diabetic and that sort of thing. But he has to eat to perform at that level and maintain that weight, which after a while, it's not healthy for him.
Yeah. And so so for that example, and that specifically that guy was worried about his labs like right before the Super Bowl. And so Tyler was like, yeah, we're not worried about that right now.
Yeah, you're gonna go
go
play
do
at the
your
Super Bowl.
job, which
Yep.
is to perform. And then when season's done, we can move to health and we can help correct all that and get you in a better setup so that next year when we gear towards performance, your blood levels don't take as much of a hit.
Yeah. And then he also said as soon as that was over, they switched the eating to health.
Yeah.
And dude dropped a little weight and all that stuff.
And so us general population people who we don't get paychecks for our physical activity, we probably pay others for our physical activity in the forms of gym memberships or even like jujitsu competitions. You're not eating, you're eating for health. All right. And if you do a little bit more activity, maybe we're eating to help your performance, but we're not solely modeling everything after your performance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not putting out enough to get 8,000 calories a day type thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's Summer Strong recap. Good event. We're looking forward to next year already.
Let's real quick talk about the single leg work. Was it the Alabama strength coach that said that, or who was that?
Yeah, that was the Alabama strength coach.
And so just real quick, we don't have to go into a whole thing of it. Just because being from originally strength and conditioning from a CrossFit background, the only single leg stuff I ever did was lunges or step ups. And it wasn't that often.
No, because you wait for it to be in the WOD and
Yeah.
it would be every once in a blue moon.
And then now that I went to a more organized and better strength and conditioning program, single leg stuff is part of the norm. Now, this coach is working with collegiate athletes, Alabama, if anybody knows the
5-star recruits, yes.
Yeah, anybody knows the Alabama football team. They're amazing. He said 1 to 3. For every bilateral leg movement, he has 3 single leg movements.
Yeah, so he was also saying that it
3 to
was
1,
one of the biggest predictors. And it's funny because they have a lot of data. Like, I mean, you're talking Alabama every year puts a bunch of players into the NFL. They're literally one of the top 3, top 5 football programs. In their worst year of play, they're top 5 in the nation, right?
Yeah.
So if you know football, or even if you don't, you know about Alabama.
Yeah.
So he's working with the craziest freaks of freaks in terms of football. And he says that it's an excellent predictor of injury risk if their single leg strength is not good. And
Meaning it's disproportionate. One leg's way stronger than the other.
Or you put them on one leg and they can't hold the position, which happens. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like guys that can squat inordinate amounts of weight on a bilateral stance or deadlift a crazy amount of weight. You ask them to do a split squat and they're dying. They're like falling all over the place. They can't do it. They're too tight to do it. It's crazy to see, but it happens a lot more often than you think. And that just speaks to imbalanced programs, right? I talk about the international men-approved leg day at the gym. It's usually Fridays, and 99% of men, their leg day is leg press. You do the set of 12, and then at the end, you lock it out and do some calves. And then you get off the leg press, you go to the leg extension machine, you go to the hamstring curl machine, and then you do one of the calf machines, and then you're done. That's your leg day, right? I just gave you the leg day for 99% of males that go to the gym. So that leads to nowhere, right? Your leg development's not going to be, I mean, it could be good, but you're not going to be that strong.
Not functional.
Your function is going to be terrible. So what I found over the years is a steady, which this was reassuring for me to see this dude that works with these crazy high-level athletes talking about he's doubling down on single leg work. And I program like that a lot. For years now, I've been doing that where I'm like, okay, we do big lift. Let's say you got a squat, you got a deadlift, whatever. After that, you're on one leg. You're going to do Bulgarians. You're going to do step-ups. You're going to do walking lunges, split squat, reverse lunges, lateral lunges. Steady diet of that. Matter of fact, I almost care more. I care more about seeing good strength. Like, hey, if you can do heavy lunges, that to me is a better performance indicator and a better function indicator, both in the athletes that I see and general population, than bigger squat numbers.
And so obviously you can see how, decreases risk of injury for collegiate players who are maybe going to go to the NFL. So what about us, general population? Why do we need to do single leg stuff? Well, if you walk upstairs, that's a single leg movement. If you step up a curb, that's a single leg movement.
Older people getting up off the floor, you roll into that lunge position, and then now you have a single leg movement.
Yeah.
It also, I feel like it loosens, like it keeps your hips limber, if you will.
Yeah. So because whenever you do, especially like a lunge, you're stretching, you're extending that hip. So you're opening up that hip flexor, which is
the back hip is opening up.
Which is in an L shape the majority of the day because we're mostly sitting, right? And especially as people get older, they kind of flex forward a little bit more. So they're always in this little bit of a flexed position. Also, oh my gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, single leg movements challenge balance. And that's very quickly lost as we get older is balance.
Yep. And if you throw a lateral lunge in there, people literally go, like their brain stops working when you ask them to move in a different plane of motion.
Yeah.
Meaning everything we do is like this straight ahead sagittal thing. Even quote unquote fit people, you ask them to go into the frontal plane, side to side, brain fart. So now you're challenging balance and coordination with that sort of thing. It also is safe. A lot of single leg movements are really safe because you load them usually with dumbbells in your hands.
Or you can even do them hand supported. It doesn't take that much away. You can do them
hand supported as well for older people or people that are not that strong. You start them with a hand supported variation, but it's super safe, and you can work really hard on some freaking split squats and feel like you're dying, but you're very safe. Your back is, people that have back injuries, right? Somebody comes to me with a back injury, I don't go into bilateral work. I go immediately into that single leg work because that's where we can get them gains. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not doing lunges and split squats and lateral lunges and reverse lunges in your program and step ups, ladies, I know that if you're out there working on your bootay, I know you're doing them. So carry on, okay? But men, look here, brother. If you ain't doing lunges, you messing up. Okay, you're not doing split squats, you're messing up. You're not doing lateral lunges, you're messing up. Okay, get the single leg work in. So gentlemen, I'm gonna throw one at you right now. International Leg Day, Friday comes around, right? For me, it's Monday. For performance people, Monday is leg day. That's when we squat. For y'all at the regular gym, I know it's usually Friday or it could be Saturday. It's the last day of the week because you know you're gonna get sore and then you wanna like, I'm gonna take the day off, whatever. So when you hit the leg press, cool, leg press it. Oh, go hard on the leg press. When you come off the leg press, or I like it before too, hit some lunges, brother. Get in there and do some split squats or something and loosen them hips up and work really hard at them. Don't just do them body weight. Like get some heavy dumbbells and get busy on them and feel like you're dying on some lunges. Your body will thank you later, okay? Mm-hmm. So maybe give the leg extension machine, give that thing a break. Put the lunges in there, okay? Just saying. Your body will thank you. Anyway, moving on. I want to get to this because this is something that we have to talk about. That's Summer Strong in a nutshell. Going again next year, God willing, because it was awesome. Mm-hmm. Driscoll's berries. We have to talk about this.
The strawberries.
So if Driscoll's, that name should sound familiar to anybody who buys produce, who eats berries, because they're probably 90% of grocery stores that you walk into, if they have strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, the brand that you will see is Driscoll's, right? You can find them organic, you can find them regular. So Driscoll's, their farms are out in California in the Santa Cruz County. The Pajaro Valley, as a lot of people are saying it, but I believe, I could be wrong, they're saying Pajaro, but I believe it's Pajaro Valley for bird, right, in Spanish. I'm going to go out on a limb and go ahead and say that that's what it is. They are experiencing in that area the second highest childhood cancer rate in the state of California. Okay, they've gone from, they're at now 22.5 cases per 100K in childhood cancers. And the average in the state is 16 per 100K. Okay, let's stop the conversation right there when it comes to cancer. Cancer is a man-made disease. I don't care What? People get cancer, you just get old. Shut up. Cancer is a man-made disease. 100 years ago, we don't have the cancer rates that we have now. Cancer diagnoses are up through the roof year over year. Every year we diagnose more and more people with cancer. They're getting younger and younger. It's insane. It's getting out of hand. Like, what the freak is going on with this cancer stuff?
So Serrano spoke at Summer Strong as well, and he made a good point. He's like, everybody in this room has cancer.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you think, what is cancer? It's an abnormal growth.
Yep.
Okay? And so our bodies are constantly turning over cells. Things are turning over. At some point, something's not dying off that should die off. It continues to grow, has its own blood supply. That could be a cancer. Okay? Mm-hmm. Our body is equipped with ways to fight this off. Natural killer cells, stimulating autophagy, stuff like that. Okay? Now, what would cause us to not be able to keep up with that in our internal body system? Either a deficit of our body's ability to do that.
Yeah, your immune system's compromised.
Yeah. Or the burden of which is driving abnormal cell overgrowth is so high our body literally can't keep up. Now that's with cancer, that's with inflammation, that's with elevated blood sugar. It's because our body can't keep up from the constant barrage of toxic things in our environment, in our food, and everywhere else. So this is a big one that, people will argue with us about seed oils. Okay, look at the biochemistry of it and tell me we're wrong.
Not only that, it's one more thing that we're adding to the toxic load that we're carrying, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're proponents of eliminating where you can. Like, listen, if you can stop eating from plastic containers, if you could stop, heating stuff up in plastic, if you can stop
using Glade air fresheners,
if you can stop using freaking Teflon pans, like all this stuff, even if it reduces your risk by 2%, 3%, you might as well take it, because there is so much that we are being bombarded with that is probably contributing to our toxic, surely contributing to our toxic load.
And unfortunately, we've had Jake on here who's a farmer who's talked about the quality of our soil, just because there can be a decreased quality in the soil just because the overuse of it, we're turning it over, we're not letting it replenish, we're kind of stripping nature of its natural process just to yield more results from it. But also our soil is decreasing in quality because of the stuff that we're putting into it, onto the plants. That, what do you think? We just spray things on the plants and it's not absorbed into the fruit, or leached into the soil, leached into the water that then goes to a field down the way from it? No, yeah. I mean, this stuff is very present. So Driscoll's has been recently highlighted as using, I don't know, you wrote down this specific pesticide.
So let's, $3 billion a year industry. I don't know if Driscoll's itself is a $3 billion company. I couldn't find that a year, which is significant for a farming enterprise. But maybe the California berry industry, they grow a lot of berries in California, about $3 billion a year. Already mentioned the rates at 22.5 cases per 100 case, second highest in the state of California. I didn't look what was the highest, but I'm very curious at that one. I should have looked for that. Basically, a lot of the Driscoll's fields are in a school area and near homes, and they spray the crap out of them. Over 2 million pounds of pesticide in that area.
Because if you think about a strawberry is not like, a mango, banana, things that have a hard exterior. We eat the exterior, right? And so bugs can very easily penetrate that.
Yep. If you look up the Dirty Dozen, basically they call it the Dirty Dozen is the most sprayed fruits and vegetables that they use the heavier concentration of pesticides to grow them. The berries are all in there. The blueberries, the raspberries, the freaking strawberries, they're all in there in that Dirty Dozen list of highly sprayed things. That's why with berries specifically, if you can buy organic, go for it. That doesn't mean it's not sprayed, because unfortunately the organic label has been hijacked, and it means they spray it with different stuff. You know what I mean? That's what it means. So you still got to give that thing an old baking soda bath. And listen, all this stuff is about reducing toxic load. Even with the baking soda bath, I doubt that that thing is reset to its most natural state, right? Like you're still going to have some BS on it. But again, it goes back to reducing
Doing what you can.
1%, 2% reduction in your favor. Why not, right? Because these demons, these crazy people are not stopping what they're doing, and they're giving 100% to making things, of poor quality, right? So we might as well give 110% to combating what they're doing. But anyway, 2 million pounds of pesticide sprayed in that area alone. These fields are near schools and stuff, right? They're like right in the heart of the school district for this county. And they have 2 major pesticides that they spray there that have issues. Allow me to say these names. Bear with me here. I don't know if I'm saying this properly. And therein lies the problem. So you won't be able to say it. One they call 3D. That's the short for it, 3D. But it's 3-dichloropropene.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dichloropropene. It's used to sterilize the soil, and it's already listed by California as a carcinogen.
Now, sterilization's always just a warm, fuzzy word that I love to hear.
Sterilize the soil, right? California already listed that pesticide as a carcinogen. Why the freak is it still in use? Why?
Because they put a label on it warning people, so all better.
No. Well, California listed it as a carcinogen. The company that produces, remember that
California will put labels on things that they have.
And then they walk away.
Even stuff we buy here, it says if you live in California, this is
Bruh, Kylie, it's funny because California, they were the first state to ban the food dyes, right? They got ahead of it before everybody. So they'll do things like that. They'll label certain things. Oh, this is a carcinogen. They'll put it on the bottle. Blah blah blah. But their enforcement and it's a mess. I believe California, listen, if you're in Cali, we love you, but I believe that one day California is just going to sink into the ocean. Yeah, it's too crazy out there, y'all. Anyway, but the state already labels this as a carcinogen. Why is it still in use? Why are we still in use? And we're spraying it near the school district? Excuse me? So, and then the other one is chloropicrin. Chloropicrin. So, first issue. I went to college. I know I'm just a guy. I lift weights and I train people to lift weights. I read a little book every now and then. Got a college degree. I'm not a dummy. I can barely say these names.
Yeah.
Does that belong on food? Does that sound like it belongs on food? Yeah, let me get some of that chloropicrin on my food, please. What are we doing, guys? Like just by the name of it and you can hear it, you can read it and be like, that doesn't sound like it should be on food, on something that I'm gonna ingest. Yeah. But here's the history of this one. The original use of this compound or this chemical, it was a chemical weapon during World War I. That's what it was used for. Mm-hmm. World War I was crazy because like a lot of, chlorine gas, fluoride, things like that were used. Like chemical warfare in World War I really is where it started kicking up.
There's a lot of, let's see what this does.
Yeah, there was a lot of experimentation. Tanks came into play. Machine guns really came into play. World War I, if you read into the history, as a former military guy, when you look at World War I, that's where we got really deadly with it in warfare. This particular compound is so interesting, not only because of its history as a chemical weapon before, but it's so toxic that they have no long-term studies on carcinogenity, on how carcinomic or carcinogen it can be, because when they go to animal testing, the animals die before they can complete the study.
Sounds delicious.
So why, that should wrap it up right there, right? Like, hey, the animals can't make it through the trial. No, let's go ahead and spray it on our food. It's all good, bro.
At this point, I just would I'm cool with eating a bug.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep the bug glyphosate free, maybe, it might be better for you than.
It's like, oh no, there's a spider on my strawberry. better than dichloroquine, whatever.
Yeah, like 3D and chloropicrin. It doesn't, like, it just, I say the name and it sounds like something that doesn't belong on your food.
I'm actually surprised that they don't just get rid of pesticides because they have protein water. So it's like, you know what? Get some extra protein on your strawberries. Bugs.
I don't know what to say. And this brings it back to that pesticide conversation. So a couple things here on the pesticide conversation. We did a deep dive on glyphosate specifically. It's not the only problematic one. There's another one. Parquat, I think is the name of it. I'm going to do a deep dive on that one too.
Sounds like the Lord from Shrek.
Oh, I don't remember.
Farquaad?
Yeah, Farquaad. Yeah, it sounds like that. It does sound like that. But I think it's Parquat or something. It is super toxic pesticide that they use. When you hear the side effects and how people, if somebody sprays it and they forget to put their thing on, they're like done immediately. And we're putting that on our food? Are you serious, bro? So...
And you know, a lot of you are just, because I'm guilty of this too, just do the little rinse off under the water.
Yeah, and you think you're good to go.
When these pesticides can withstand rain.
Yep, that's what they're meant for. Let's not even talk about the coatings that they put on some of the conventional fruit. That's a conversation for another day. So why do we care about this? You have a clear cut, and this is happening in a lot of places. We talked about Iowa with their glyphosate everywhere and how their cancer rates are skyrocketing. Iowa's probably the worst case right now, but then you have Nebraska, Illinois are also coming up on the list for high cancer rates near farms and that sort of thing. This is yet another one to add to the list, but this one seems to be affecting the children more than anybody. Man, I had a friend when I was a kid that I went kindergarten to 8th grade with because I went to multiple schools because I was such a good child. But kindergarten through 8th grade. When I was in 9th grade, I was at another school, but I remember hearing the news that he had leukemia. Mm-hmm. And I went to see him in the children's hospital, and that was tough. That was tough. So seeing a child with cancer, and I'm not a parent, bro, but I'm taken back to that memory of that dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Kids with cancer is crazy. He died at 18, right before we graduated high school. Think about that. So from 15 to 18, he was sick, in and out of hospitals, could barely go to school. He went to school for a little bit, back to school for a little bit, but he was mostly in and out. Passed away at 18. So now imagine hundreds, thousands of kids coming up with cancers in one concentrated area. What the freak are we doing, bro? What? And we're just going to write that off? It's like, oh, that's what happens. Oh, it just happens. It's a coincidence. Bro, we're just going to write that off? Like, that's crazy, man. So things to consider here, focusing on solutions, right? We're going to go there first. 1, buy organic when you can, especially if it's on the Dirty Dozen with berries specifically. Definitely worth buying organic, or go to farmers markets. Pay a little bit more for it. It's better. If you really like strawberries and you're going to eat them all the time, get some better quality strawberries, man. Just put a little bit of more money into it. I know it sucks. Everything's super expensive right now, whatever. Cancer is expensive too, y'all. You know? Baking soda bath, hit that. Right? And the organic thing, there's a lot of fruits that don't, if they have, like avocados, organic avocados, you don't need them. Thick. You know, you don't eat the outside and it's really thick, so it's harder for the stuff to get into what you're actually going to eat. So you don't need organic avocados, right? For the most part. Oranges are highly sprayed, but thicker rind or whatever you want to call it, skin. So you don't necessarily need organic oranges. But strawberries and things like that, where you eat the outside, get the organic stuff.
Apples.
My God, apples are super sprayed. That is extremely sprayed stuff. Yes, get the organic apples. And not only that, you're going to notice the difference between a regular and organic apple because they do put a wax coating on the regular apples to make them all shiny. And if it has the appeal sticker on it, where they put the appeal cover, go ahead and literally take that freaking stand of apples and just throw it on the ground because we don't want that Bill Gates stuff.
All I
on our
know
food.
is that Snow White's apple was really shiny that she bit.
Yes, sir.
And she
yes,
went
sir.
night-night.
Yes, sir. They were telling you something back then. So buy organic with the look up the Dirty Dozen, and if you eat that stuff regularly, buy the organic stuff. Berries are in season as we speak. Right now, it's strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, blackberry season. Definitely buy organic. I am probably at the point where I don't want to give Driscoll's my money.
Agreed.
I don't want to buy their produce. I think we got to start doing what we can. I know, is that going to shut Driscoll's down? Probably not. But if a lot of us are doing it, maybe it hurts their bottom line a little bit more. Maybe not enough to put them out of business, but enough to put them on notice that they need to improve their practices. I don't know. Me personally, I don't want to give Driscoll's my money. It's a wrap, bro. I'm not buying your freaking strawberries. I'm not buying your raspberries. I'm not buying your BS anymore. If that means that I don't get to eat strawberries, like that freaking the boys, I went shopping yesterday. They didn't have strawberries. They didn't have organic, no strawberries in the place. I don't know if it's because he's looking to source them from somewhere else because he heard about this drama with Driscoll's. Wouldn't surprise me because that's how Mike's a good dude, right?
Yeah.
And he wants to give his people the best. These guys are really serious about their grocery store. It's a family endeavor. Mm-hmm. All of them are related. When you're walking across the grocery store and you see the guys that are running it, they all sound the same. They're like Jersey Italians. I love it. But anyway, there were no strawberries in there. If I don't get to eat strawberries for a little bit till I could buy them from some local farmer or something, then that's so be it. I'm not freaking putting money in these yahoos. Oh, Lord help me, because I want to get worldly with these people. I'm not putting money in your pocket if you're willingly and knowingly poisoning mofos, bro. Especially kids. My God, what are we doing? So, something to consider. You do what you can afford. You do what you think is best for you, but be advised, right? That a lot of this stuff is happening out there and it's not what's best for us and it's not what's best for any freaking body.
Yeah. So
with that in mind, in closeout, anything you want to say?
No, we ended with some key takeaways of how to, just key takeaways of when you approach your goals for how you want to eat, how you want to exercise. I think the first thought should be health.
Yeah.
Health. If you want to but I want to look a certain way, or I want to do this high rocks or this marathon or something, cool. Start with health.
Yep.
Okay. Make sure you're doing single leg movements, and also when we didn't get into it, but rotational carry, stuff that mimics your everyday life, right? And so start paying attention to how you move throughout the day. Do you sit to stand? That's a squat. You bend over to pick something up. That's a deadlift. You go upstairs. That's a step up. You, get you're down on the ground and you have to put one leg forward and you do a lunge. Okay. So let's look at your movements throughout the day, and then how can you replicate those movements in the gym to strengthen them, to just expand your ability to move through life more efficiently. Okay. And for a longer amount of time. And then with the produce, one thing that we're going to do, keep an eye on our Instagram, because the beginning of every month, we're going to repost some, it's either the War Kitchen or Holistic Health.
It's the War Kitchen usually has a really good list.
The produce that's in season for that month, because we're just trying to share and encourage people to experience some variety and eat what's in season, so you're getting a natural rotation of things.
Yeah, and it tastes better when it's in season. Like, it just tastes better. The produce, like, the strawberries, not from Driscoll's, kicking when they're in season.
Yeah. And then I've started doing the baking soda bath, better than the vinegar bath, with your produce. And so you just get a big thing of water. I put 2 tablespoons. I'm sure there's a more exact measurement. Stir it up, soak it in there, leave it for about 15 minutes, strain it, rinse it. Building that into your preparation can be something that's really beneficial. So.
Well, let's close this out.
Yeah. So if you have questions regarding how to further do this, you need help being like, okay, well, where do I go? Or how do I do this? Or, you just want more resources at all, you can email us at info@achievethelifestyle.com. Visit our website, achievethelifestyle.com. You can contact us through there. It still shoots to our email, or send us a message on Instagram, slide into our DMs at Achieve the Lifestyle.
Does it go down in the DM? Don't buy Driscoll's berries. Just kidding. Do what you want, but just know what you're buying, what you're paying for, what you're contributing to, with your dollar. Pay attention to it, because I think that is going to become an even bigger stink, hopefully. And then a lot of attention goes to it, because kids, nobody deserves, I don't care if you're 90, nobody deserves cancer, man-made disease. Change my mind. Anyway, till next time, give your berries a baking soda bath and stay pharma-free.
Thanks for listening to the PharmaPhobic podcast. If you found this conversation interesting, which I know you did, make sure to follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also make sure to check us out on Instagram at Achieve the Lifestyle. And if you're interested in pursuing a stronger, healthier, more capable version of yourself, check out our website at achievethelifestyle.com.
The PharmaPhobic podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not constitute medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making any medical or wellness decisions. While we discuss pharmaceutical, holistic, and alternative health topics, our content is not a substitute for professional medical guidance.